Welcome again to the Old Principal. I am the Old Principal, and we're going to tell another story today. Maybe it's not so much a story as it is some of the facts of life. Now, you're going to see that this is lesson number 178, the world's deadliest animal. Can you believe that? Wow. Well, let's listen to the story, and then we'll come back and we'll look at some interesting facts.
Story 178, World's Deadliest Animal. People often wonder, which is the most deadly animal in the world? Many animals are nominated, including the great white shark. But as bad as it is, great white sharks only kill about 65 people a year. Jellyfish beat the great white, killing about 100 people a year. Here's a list of other killers in descending order. 9th place, Cape buffalo, 200. 8. African lions, 250. 7. Hippopotamuses, 300. 6. Bees, 400. 5. Elephants, 600. 4. Australian saltwater crocodiles, 2,000. 3. Scorpions, 3,250. 2. Asian cobras cause most of the more than 50,000 snakebite deaths per year. But the number one killer is the measly mosquito. This little creature kills more than 2 million people a year. You've got to remember that the mosquito carries some dirty germs, many of which are killers. The only mosquito we have to worry about is the female. She lands on her prey and spears her injection needle into the flesh of her victim. The first phase of the mosquito's visit involves injecting an anti-blood clotting serum. This thins the blood around the spot so that it will draw smoothly into the insect's beak. This fluid carries with it whatever viruses or bacteria the insect ate during its last meal, and the last victim could have been quite sick. Mosquitoes carry around several killer germs, but in the tropics or subtropics, most often it's malaria. A malaria infection is generally characterized by recurrent attacks with the following signs and symptoms: moderate to severe shaking chills, high fever, profuse sweating as body temperature rises. Other symptoms may include headache, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea. As I said, the little bug is responsible for the death of at least 2 million people every year. Repellents and mosquito nets are part of a frontline defense, but do all you can to prevent being bitten by this little monster.
Welcome back. Now we're going to look at number 178, the world's deadliest animal. People often wonder, which is the most deadly animal in the world? Now, when we say deadly, so we're talking about 致命的, what do you call animals, 动物, okay? Or 野兽, or whatever it is, okay? So they wonder, 他们就想, they're just thinking, well, which is the deadliest? That means which one causes the most damage, kills the most people. We're going to look at a lot of animals, so I have my notes just in case I don't know some of these things. I'll try to explain it in English. Okay, going on. Many animals are nominated. Okay, so nominated 提出来, 被提出来的. So which is the deadliest one? We're going to look at these, including the great white or shark. 大白鲨, 鲨鱼, huh? Let's see. So if you think of the great white shark, where do you think of? I think of Australia, 这个澳大利亚, okay? But as bad as it is, the great white shark, it's bad. As bad as it is, guess what? It only kills 65 people a year. Okay, 65 a year. That means that only 65. So, it's bad. And it looks bad. But maybe not so bad. Going on. Jellyfish. Jellyfish. 水母. That was a new word for me. 水母, jellyfish. Beat the great white shark. So, beat the great white. I didn't write shark, but obviously when you say the great white, everybody knows that you're talking about the great white shark. So jellyfish is worse. It kills about 100 people a year. Can you imagine that? This is a jellyfish. What is a jellyfish? A jellyfish is nothing, but it has tentacles that hang down, and these tentacles actually have poison on it. And if you brush up against that and 你摸到的时候, the poison is very, very, very strong. So a jellyfish looks so innocent, like nothing could be, that wouldn't hurt anybody. And yet, it is a very dangerous thing. But jellyfish, only 100 people. That means it kills, 它会杀一年100个人, 100人. Okay, killing about 100 people a year. Here's a list of the other killers in descending order. Okay, so 排列下去. Okay, 排列下去. So let's take a look. Okay, Cape buffalo. Okay, now a Cape buffalo, Cape means Cape Town, or 南非水牛. Okay, 南非水牛. So it's not a happy animal. It will kill 200 people a year. Okay, then we go on and we look at the African lion. 这个非洲的狮子 kills 250 people a year. So stay away from the Cape buffalo, stay away from the African lion. The next one is hippopotamuses. Okay, they kill 300 people a year. What is a hippopotamus? A hippopotamus. Hippo is horse in the Greek language. 希腊文这个是马的意思 hippo. Okay, potamus is a river. River horse. Can you imagine a river horse? It's too big and fat. But hippopotamuses kill 300 people a year. And then number 6. Okay. Bees, 蜜蜂. Now, later on, I will tell the story of the time that I got stung 被蜜蜂咬了 26 times at one time 一次 and some people one sting is 非常非常毒 I had 26被咬的被叮的26次 but I'm still here fortunately bees kill 400 people a year 400 people a year and then we come to the elephant. Do you know what an elephant is? 大象 Now, it seems to me like people should stay away from the big elephant. Sure, it's huge. It kills 600 people a year. So obviously, elephants, or shall we say, people, are somewhere close to where the elephants are. Because the elephants, usually when they stampede, that's when they start running or they get very upset. 好像是人是侵犯了他的土地等等 So then they get very upset and they kill. But that's not the worst in the world. The next one is Australian saltwater crocodiles. Whoa. Okay, 澳大利亚 okay, Australia, saltwater, okay, 咸水的鳄鱼 crocodiles. What is that? They're big. Actually, I've seen a picture of some of them. They're huge. They're really, really, really big. They kill 200 2,000 people a year. 会杀2000位2000个人 Okay, number 3. 第三是 scorpions. It's too bad that I don't have a picture of a scorpion. I should. You can go on the internet and you can look. 蝎子 It's a little, usually it's a very small black animal, but very poisonous. 很有毒的蝎子 And those kill 3,250. Okay, now we're talking about the next one. Number 2. Number 2 is Asian cobras cause most of the more than 50,000 snakebite deaths of the year. So the Asian cobras, 亚洲地区的眼镜蛇 Actually, we saw one when, maybe 10, 15 years ago, my wife and I were out walking, and we actually saw 眼镜蛇. And fortunately, he was afraid of us, and he was going, chung! He was going the other direction. Okay? So, Asian cobras cost most of the 50,000 snakebite deaths a year. So, how many people die because of snakes a year? Snakes. This is all of the snakes in all the world, all of the snakes. 50,000. Most of them are caused by the 眼镜蛇. And that's 50,000. How much is that? That's 5万个. But that's not the worst. That's only what? Number 2. And number 1. Da, da, da. What is number 1? What is the deadliest and 最致命的动物到底全世界到底是什么东西啊？什么动物呢？ The number one killer is the measly mosquito. Measly gives the idea of 小小的 and 可悲的 okay? The measly mosquito. A mosquito is a very small animal. It says this little creature, 这个小小的这个生物 kills more than 2 million people a year. 它会杀 How many is 2 million? 2 million is 200万个人. 2 million. Now that is a lot. That is a lot. Okay, now, going on. You've got to remember that the mosquito carries some dirty germs, many of which are killers. 你要记得啊 Maybe the... how can we say that? Maybe it's the mosquito itself is not so bad, 但是它是带很多细菌，肮脏的细菌。肮脏的 dirty germs. Okay, many of them are killers. Okay, 致命者. So they carry this. Going on. The only mosquito we have to worry about is the female. Don't worry about the men. It's the women. 这是母的 female. Okay, 不是公的，是母的。She lands on its prey. Excuse me. Okay, what is prey? Okay, you've heard of 打猎, right? 猎物 is prey, something that she is going to hurt. She is going to she's going to suck their blood, 要吸他们的血, okay? Now, and she spears her injection needle into the flesh of the victim. Okay, spears, okay? Spears is 刺, okay? Her injection needle. Injection, 这个也有刺，还有针呢。like 打针的针呢 okay? Into the flesh of her victim. 在她受害者的肉. So, she takes her little needle and it goes right down inside of it. Actually, we saw a picture there at the beginning. Going on. The first phase of mosquitoes visit involves injecting an anti-blood clotting serum. We'll see if we can make this simple, okay? Okay, the first phase, 第一步, 这个步骤, right? 第一步 of the mosquito's visit. So when the mosquito comes, the first thing that the mosquito does is involves, 就是包括 injecting, 这是要打针 what? What are they going to put in there? Anti-blood clotting serum. Now let's see if we can get this thing straight. Anti 是反抗的抗凝的意思啊 Okay? 血迹 clotting. Now, when you hurt yourself, you just think about it. When you hurt yourself and you start to bleed and you're bleeding, 流血, what happens? It comes out. Then it gets thicker and thicker and finally stops. That's called clotting. And then it says anti-blood clotting serum. Serum is a liquid. 有一点像液体 going on. This thins the blood, 这个细致这个血 around the spot so that it will draw smoothly into the insect's beak. Okay, so this beak is this long thing, and the blood is thin, and therefore 很顺利的就可以吸进来. Okay, going on. This fluid carries with it whatever viruses or bacteria, viruses, 病毒, and bacteria, 细菌, okay, so that the insect ate during the last meal. So, wherever the insect was before, the insect picked up from the last 受害者, picked up the new 病毒或细菌, and therefore the mosquito carries it from 一个受害者到另外一个受害者等等等等，一直下去. And the last victim could have been quite sick, of course, because if they have malaria already, 这个疟疾, already have it, then they spread it on to the next. 这个传到下一个呢 going on. Mosquitoes, 这个蚊子 carry around several killer germs. Okay, several killer germs. Okay, what are these? 致命的这个细菌，致命的细菌. But in the tropics or subtropics, most of it's malaria. In the tropics, 这个热带, and subtropics, what do you call that? 亚热带, okay. Most often it's malaria. You know what? 疟疾, okay, malaria. Okay, 疟疾. Is that right? 疟疾. Okay, 疟疾. Malaria, we get this right. Malaria infection is generally character, 它的特点 is recurrent. Okay, recurrent. That means it happens over and over and over again. Recurrent attacks. What is an attack? 发作，这个发作，再发作，再发作。Okay, and has the following 症状, the following symptoms, 症状. Go ahead. Moderate to severe shaking, chills. Now, when I say moderate, shaking is 发抖, right? And sometimes 当你发烧的时候，你感到冷. Have you ever felt that? You feel cold even though your body is hot. Shaking, chills. 发高烧. Okay. Profuse sweating. 大大的出汗. Profuse is 大大的出汗. As the body temperature rises. Okay, 你的体温就上升的时候，就大大的出汗. Going ahead. Other symptoms, 其他的症状也可以包括头痛. Okay. Nausea. Now that's an interesting one. 恶心呢. Sometimes I simplify nausea by say 头昏呢. 头昏. Nausea is 这个恶心. You just feel terrible, okay? And then, of course, there is O2, vomiting. O2. And then diarrhea, 这个拉肚子. So malaria is not a very happy experience. Okay, now, going on. As I said, the little bug, 这个小小这个虫啊，虫, okay, is 导致 responsible for 导致. That's a good word. I need to use that more in Chinese. Is responsible for the death of at least 2 million people every year. That means every year, because of the mosquito, 2 million people die. Now, usually they're in very poor areas where they cannot get the medicine, or they're already quite sick, and then they get malaria, and then it's just too much, and the people die. Going on? Okay. Repellents. 驱虫剂. Repellents. You can buy them, and you just put them on your skin. Or mosquito nets, 蚊帐, are a front line defense. Okay, 第一道, okay, front line, 第一道. What do you call it? 反线, 第一道反线. Woo, that's heavy Chinese. 第一道反线, okay, front line defense. But do all you can to prevent being bitten by this little monster, 这个小怪手. Wow. Stay away from mosquitoes. Now, you can write to us. I hope you don't have mosquitoes. We do have an email address, theoldprinciple@gmail.com, and our website is www.theoldprinciple.org. Hey, I hope we don't have mosquitoes next time, but you can join us for another interesting lesson. I hope to see you then.